Philip with one L, Thomas, Kinsey, Kinsey. I'm the Forensic Science Division Administrator. And I'm also the administrator for the State Medical Examiner's Office.
All right. Now, if you wouldn't mind just describing real quickly what the State Medical Examiner's Office does. I know we see it in the news all the time whenever an autopsy has to be done or various pieces of evidence. They say it goes to the State Crime Lab, and a lot of folks don't realize that the State Crime Lab is right here in Missoula.
Absolutely. The Medical Examiner's Office is in charge of providing autopsy services for the state. In the Missoula office, they typically provide those services for the western part of the state, and there's other medical examiner services for the eastern part of the state. Deaths are investigated, and when they have under certain circumstances. So suspicious deaths, potential homicides, those will all get autopsied. Evidence that comes in associated with bodies and then associated with really any crime scene evidence also comes to the laboratory. So that could be anything from latent prints left at a burglary to sexual assault evidence. Drug identification gets done here in the laboratory, firearms analysis, and most closely associated with the medical examiners is our toxicology section. So in that section, they identify the presence of drugs in biological tissues. So they handle all of our DUI samples, probation and parole, drug screens, as well as coroner cases that come from the medical examiner's office.
Now, so when it comes to those particular instances, how big of a staff do you have to handle all that?
The crime lab as a whole has about 35 scientists and administrative staff to help get things through the laboratory. We have had 2 medical examiners here in our office. I think toxicology section has maybe 7 or 8 analysts, and so the analysts are spread throughout the different disciplines depending on what their area of expertise is.
Now, do those folks often cross over to other areas when the need arises?
No, that's sort of a concept of the past. So it used to be way back in the day that a forensic scientist was considered sort of a generalist, that they could do any type of forensic science. With the advent of laboratory accreditation and increase in quality assurance, we've become more narrowly associated with just our specific band of expertise. So as the technology increases and requires more education and training of the different scientists, they pretty much just have to stay within their one area of expertise.
And I would understand that probably is necessary, especially when it comes to sending a case to trial. It would be helpful to note that the person who did the exam is someone who is a specialist in that area.
I would agree.
All right. So let's talk about your new the state medical examiner. I know that we lost one a while back, and that you have a replacement on the way.
We do. We're very excited. Dr. Jamie Oberst from Wichita, Kansas, will be joining us in the latter part of August, and she comes to us. She's in charge of the Sedgwick County Medical Examiner's Office. She's the chief medical examiner there right now. She has 15 years of experience working in that laboratory, 7 as a deputy and then 8 as a chief medical examiner. So she really has a wealth of experience and background behind her, and even better, the experience of actually running the office. So we're very excited that she's able to join our team, and we are fast on the track of filling deputy positions. Those just we just aren't quite there yet, aren't ready to announce names yet.
So let me ask you this, Phil. When it comes to, especially with autopsies that need to be done now or in the last couple of weeks, and until she arrives and gets her feet on the ground, where do those bodies go? Are they sent somewhere else? Who handles those?
Yeah, we've got a couple of tracks. So we were trying to get as many. So there's an option in the medical examiner world known as locum tenens. So I think it translates into placeholders. So we think of them as sort of substitute medical examiners. So there are these doctors around the country who will sometimes take their vacation and come on up to a different state or go to a different area and perform autopsies to help out different offices. So that's one approach that we've taken. We have currently we have two doctors, one from Washington, one from Colorado, who have obtained their medical license in Montana to do this work, and we've had them up to Missoula to help us perform autopsies here. I think 3 different stints now. They aren't able to come for very long at a time because they have their regular jobs back home, but we're sure happy that these doctors are able to help out. So that's one way we can get the autopsies done. We can have them brought to Missoula when these doctors are in town. The other approach we've taken is to contact regional autopsy facilities. We've been working with 2 or 3 primarily. One in King County, Seattle, Washington. The King County office has helped us quite a bit. We have a regional facility in Rapid City, South Dakota, that, in fact, I think the doctor down there is currently working on a couple of autopsies for the eastern side of Montana. We've also sent them to Idaho Falls, and there's a doctor down there that can help us out as well. So we have these regional areas that we can have the bodies transported to for autopsy, and it's been working pretty well. The primary impact of this kind of temporary situation is just that it takes an extra day or maybe 2 to get those autopsies completed and get the bodies back to where they need to be. So other than that, it seems to be running quite smoothly.
All right. So as you look forward, at what point do you believe, maybe September, October, to have everything back to normal, the things running the way it should be?
Well, yes, we're expecting that sometime in the fall. We obviously want to have it done as soon as possible, but it takes time for people to uproot their livelihoods and families and sell houses and relocate. So we understand that takes a couple of months. It feels like we're on the verge of getting some deputy medical examiners in place, and in fact, we've also posted positions for autopsy assistants, so full-time administrative and technical support for the medical examiners. Our great hope is that by mid-fall we're kind of back in business like we were before.